Hey, Shalom, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises to Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai, the water Yahweh Shem Yahshai, Kawa Hakodash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of GMS, Great Millstone. Honors to you fellow brothers out there kicking his word in all sincerity and truth. And, the first thing that comes in mind when you think about basketball, you think about what? Michael Jordan. And Michael Jordan, he's basically the face of basketball. Even to this very day, you have people talking about the legacy that the Chicago Bulls had. And why is that? Well, because Michael Jordan, being the face of the Chicago Bulls, he held that legacy, all right? Having a mindset to win. He was willing to do whatever it took to win. And that's a mindset that the elect are going to have, man. That's a mindset that we have. No matter what happens, we're gonna win. We're not going to let anybody stop us yet. Michael Jordan, he couldn't win all those legacies by himself. He needed help. Now without Steve Kerr, without Scottie Pippen, without Dennis Rodman, all right, without the help of the management, the coaches, Michael Jordan couldn't win. Imagine one guy running back and forth on the court trying to beat the whole team. It's not going to work. So without the help of his teammates, Michael Jordan couldn't win. Yet, when you think about the Chicago Bulls, you wouldn't think about Dennis Rodman, you wouldn't think about Scottie Pippen, you wouldn't think about Steve Kerr and all the hard work that they put in, but yet they were needed. They were in the background, but yet they were needed for the victory of the Chicago Bulls. Now I'm comparing that to the elect. Now the elect, they may not be acknowledged. Some members of the elect, they may have a small lot in this truth, but guess what? They are still needed because they are those spiritual stones that make up the body of Yahweh Shai. And the scriptures say that Yahweh Shai, he has called us to be a chosen generation, that chosen priesthood to go and show forth his praise through the nations. I'm gonna go ahead and start on that. 1 Peter chapter 2 and verse 9. But ye are a chosen generation, a royal priesthood, and holy nation, a peculiar people, that ye should show forth the praises of him that has called you out of darkness into his marvelous light. Right? So every member of the elect, they make up a chosen priesthood of the Most High. Now, if you guys watch Apostle Ramlah's live stream that he did this morning, he did a beautiful live stream going into that. And I'm going to hit it from a different light. Because the elect, sometimes you may not have that many views, you may not get that much attention. And really, you shouldn't even be expecting that. The scriptures say this is our reasonable service. But yet, you may not be in the limelight like that, but you're still important. And the thing about the elect is, the scriptures say, he that is first shall be last, and the last shall be first. You may have a lot of men getting the praises and getting the accolades and getting all this and that, and yet they may not even be accepted by the Most High. But yet you may have one member of the elect, he's doing videos, he's putting his whole heart into it, but he's barely getting any views. He's barely getting any thumbs up, but yet his works are highly more accepted by the Most High than those that are in the limelight. And that's how the Lord works, man. The Lord said he has called those that are despised of the earth to put to shame those that are highly exalted in this time. So, let me go ahead and play this video.
Get back. We're going to overcome this hill that we keep getting up to and can't get over.
The 1991 season began with a familiar pattern.
Wide left, Pippen. 3 seconds. Jordan's four-shot shot to left. Oh, yes! Win. Michael Jordan saves the day.
There were spectacular victories, and there were painful losses.
The air ball, Ryan Shaw lays it in. Boston wins. The Boston Celtics come from behind and knock off the Bulls.
While the Bulls had grown together as a cohesive team, their success still seemed ultimately to rest in the hands of Michael Jordan.
Right. Hey, because when all the games were over, who would they pass the ball to? Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan, he was given that authority to make those shots. And yet, though Michael Jordan was an all-around great player, a well-dominant player on the court, when he walked on that court, all the other players, they knew what it was. All right, being able to shoot those different shots on the midfield. All right, he could take it in, he could dunk, he could shoot three-pointers. So all around, he was a powerful player. But yet, when he needed rebounds, who was there? Dennis Rodman. Where he needed 3-pointers, who was there? Steve Kerr. You see, where he needed open shot, Scottie Pippen was there. So Michael Jordan, he needed his teammates to help him achieve that goal of obtaining 6 rings. And the thing about it is, his teammates that were least esteemed, they were the dynamics and they were the proponents that helped the team flow in such an efficient way.
Championships. Other guys have to be involved.
3 seconds ahead of Paxson. Yes! John Paxson, one-touch shooting.
The adjustments that the Bulls would make were subtle ones, but they would prove to be more important. For Michael Jordan's teammates, the challenge was no longer physical.
That's right. You can't have a man averaging 53 points while everybody else is not averaging anything. Hey, because this truth is a team work. Now, different brothers are given different gifts, and different brothers are given a bigger portion of the spirit. But yet, even saying that, the spirit that each and every single brother of the elect is given, they come together as one house. All right, each brick of Yahweh's body, and they bring to the table what is needed to ultimately fulfill this mission that we're on. So 1 Corinthians chapter 12 and verse 4. Now there are diversities of gifts, but the same spirit, right? So we all have the same spirit of Yahweh. Hey, because without the spirit, we couldn't do these works, man. We couldn't go out there in the highways and byways. We couldn't wake up every single day just doing these works, pushing it out there, man. It's all the spirit that gives the influence and that gives the motivation. And there are differences of administration, but the same Lord. And there are diversities of operation, but it is the same power which worketh in all. But the manifestations of the Spirit is given to every man to profit withal, right? So every brother has the same spirit. Now you may have a brother that's, he might be new, he might be a little weak. You know what I'm saying? He may be a little shy. But it's up to you that have been in the truth for a while. You have exercised yourself and you know what you're involved in. It's up to you to what? To help that brother upgrade his spirit. To help that brother come up on the level. Hey, there's a saying that goes in the world, you reach one, you teach one. So the scriptures say that he that is least will be highly esteemed. All right? Hey, because some of the disciples were fighting, they were arguing with themselves saying, who's going to be the greatest in the kingdom? Yahweh said, unless you humble yourselves down to this little baby, none of you guys are going to make it. So it's not about having the accolades and having man accept you. What's more important is having a brother. He may not be the best speaker, he may not be the best talker, he may not be the best reader, but as long as he has the faith and he has the Holy Spirit and he's actually putting in that effort, that's all that matters, man. So it's up to men that have been in this truth for a while to help brothers bring out that light out of a brother that may appear weak. You see? Going on.
It was psychological.
How many coaches would have the courage to sit Michael Jordan down in a 2-point game or tie ball game with 4 minutes to go and then have the team respond and go up 4?
Felt the team needs to be able to exist on their own a little bit on the court. They need to have some internal direction, ability to have poise and confidence on the floor.
You see that? The coach said he felt like the team needed to exist. They needed to do this work. To put it in better words, they needed to do the work on their own without Michael Jordan. So what? So they can grow. So you may have a brother that comes in the truth. You know, he may be willing to learn. You know, after a few months, you know, you start teaching him. He may start to read scriptures for you. Then after that, he may be on your side teaching. All right. After that, you don't have to stand right next to him. He can teach this word all by himself. See, this thing is about bringing brothers unto Yahweh Shai, not bringing brothers unto ourselves, because the fruits that the Lord gives us is not unto us, it's of him. So you may have a brother that comes in, well, guess what? You're supposed to teach him in the right way to go. You see the scripture say, teach up a young man in the way that he should go, and when he gets older, he will not forget it. Just roughly paraphrasing. 1 Corinthians chapter 12 and verse 15. If the foot, matter of fact, let me start at verse 13. For by one Spirit are we all baptized into one body, whether we be the Jews or Gentiles, the Israelite foreigners are called Gentiles, whether we be bond or free, and we have been made to drink into one Spirit. For the body is not one member, but many, right? Hey, because the scripture said the 144,000, even though that's a small number compared to the whole nation of Israel, yet each and every single one of those members are needed, to do this work. If the foot so say, because I am not the hand, I am not of the body, it is therefore not of the body. And if the ear so say, because I am not the eye, I am not of the body, is it therefore not of the body? Right. Hey, because one of the greatest components of the body is what? The eyes, the feet, because you have to walk, the hands to grab something. But yet, if you don't have your toes, then how the hell are you going to walk? If you don't have your ears, how are you going to see? Now that may not be the most interesting thing in the body, but yet it is still needed. It may not be the most beautiful thing on the body. Now, if you might be dating a girl, she might not notice that, but it is still needed for the whole body to operate. It is one system. All right. And if the ear so say, because I am not the eye, I am not of the body, is it therefore not of the body? The whole body. If the whole body were an eye, where was the hearing? If the whole were hearing, where was the smelling? But now has Yahweh set the members, every one of them in the body, as it has pleased them, right? So, if a brother is really sincere, he really believes in this thing, then it's up to you to upgrade his spirit. And I keep saying that, but that's what we have to do. Hey, because we're going to have brothers coming in every single day. You may have a lot of demons in the truth, but yet we may have sincere brothers that truly want to get the milk of this thing. Going on.
As his teammates began to assert themselves, Michael didn't give up his role as leader. Instead, he redefined it.
You see that? This is Michael Jordan did not give up his role as a leader, but instead he beautified it. So how did he do that? By increasing their portion. You see, the thing about it is every man is given a portion, and no man can go above the portion that the Lord has given him. So instead of trying to get a man to go above what the Lord has given him, you have to beautify the traits that he only has within himself. If a man's a good speaker, we'll have him read more. If a man's a good talker, have him talk more, so he can beautify that spirit that he has within him. If that's making sense. Because this is all a gift, man. And the Lord's not looking for the idleness. He's not looking for idle hands. He's looking for those that are going to work. As the scripture say, the vineyard is plenty, but the laborers are few. So the Lord is looking for those that are going to work. The Lord's not looking for excuses. And all you lukewarm, idle hands out there, the only thing that's awaiting you is death. Hey, because you got to discern as well. There's just guys that are full of bullshit in this truth. They really don't want to do the work like that, man. They really don't want to teach. And yet, you can have a man that's teaching, but if he's not sincere, if your whole heart's not into this thing and you're teaching, then you're going to be destroyed. 1 Timothy chapter 4 and verse 14. Neglect not the gift that is in thee, which was given thee by prophecy, with the laying on of the hands of the presbytery, right? So we all have a gift, and the greatest gift is to do what? To prophesy, to go out there in the highways and byways and to teach this truth, So the least of the elect will be the greatest. The least of the elect will be the greatest, man. Because you have brothers that may not be in the spotlight, but yet they're highly more esteemed of the Most High than some men that are in the spotlight. You see, this thing ain't about numbers, man. Just like you men see, you may have a lot of guys that have a lot of followers, and you know, in the eyes of men, they're like, okay, he's the man of the Lord. The Lord dealing with him. The Lord. See, the thing is, the Lord deals in ways that are high above man's understanding. You know, the Lord is dealing with men that may not have a good following, that may not have a big following, but yet in the spirit they have a bigger spirit than most guys that have a great following. So it's not about the flesh; it's all about the spirit, man. And it's about what the Lord commandeth, not who man commandeth. Because man, they look at this thing carnally, but the Lord, his ways are high above man's ways, man. 1 Corinthians chapter 12 and verse 23. And those members of the body which we think to be less honorable, right? So you may have a brother that he doesn't have that many views. Upon these we bestow more abundant honor, and our uncomely parts have more abundant comeliness. For our comely parts have no need, but Yahweh has tempered the body together, having given more abundant honor to the part which lacked. Right, that's right, man. So the Lord has given more honor to those that lack. You know, you're not supposed to hate a brother just because he may be a little slow. You know, he may not grow as fast as other brothers. Well, it's up to you. You know, you're a veteran. You're supposed to help that brother grow. You see? It says that there should be no schism in the body, but that the members shall have the same care one for another. Let me get that word for schism. And that word for schism is
Strong's G 4978. Schisma. Schisma.
all right. I'm going to a rent, a division, a dissension, a split or gap, a schism, right? You can't fit a damn block where a circle is supposed to go. So if a man's really, he doesn't have the spirit like that, and you know that, you know, you try your best, you try to help him out, but he doesn't have the spirit. Hey, he's not the elect, man. Because the elect, they're going to be in that fervent spirit to what? To continue to do this work, to be putting forth that abundant work. You see? No matter how much of a small faith that you have to the greatest. The scriptures say, if you have faith as a grain of mustard seed, then you can move a mountain, man. So every part of the elect is needed in this truth. And those that are not highly esteemed, those are who the Lord's dealing with, man. Now we have the elders and apostles, and of course they have established, and they have built the foundations through the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, and those men deserve triple honors, man. But yet we have brothers that may not be in the spotlight, and sometimes, you know, you may feel like your works are in vain. Your works are not in vain, man. The Lord says it's not unrighteous to forget your labor of love. Matter of fact, let me grab that. Hebrews chapter 6 and verse 10. For Yahweh is not unrighteous to forget your labor of love, which you have showed towards his name, in that you have ministered to the saints and do minister. And we desire that every one of you do the same diligence to the full assurance of hope unto the end. That you be not slothful, right? You know, slothfulness makes the building to decay. And this is why when they're really not into the work like that, you can honestly see. You know, you can honestly see by the videos, man. You know, man, their hearts are not really into it like that. You know, you hear all this noise in the background. You hear the woman in the background screaming at them. Hey, man, this truth is only for the small individual, the elect. It's not for the multitude, man. Yet, we're going to have a lot of men creep up in this truth unawares just to be destroyed. But for the sincere, for the house of David, it says that ye be not slothful, but followers of them who through faith and patience inherited the promise. That's right, man. You know what I'm saying? So, with that, I'm going to go ahead and end it off. You know, those least in the body of Yahweh Shai will be the greatest, man. And those who you think will be the greatest will be the least. For the last will be first, and the first will be last. And with that, hey, Shalom.
My role on this team as a leader is a utility. You know, step in and plug in the holes wherever we're lacking something.
As the season progressed, the Bulls seemed to find new heroes every night.
Livingston took
And a different way to win.
Greer falls down, and Cartwright steals the ball. Jordan, Michael
philosophy of shared responsibility had everyone contributing. Even during the All-Star weekend itself, they would receive an important contribution.
Spiritual shots, man. Spiritual shots. All right, Shalom.